amawulire agaliwo okuva mu ggwanga lya Canada ebya Museveni beyakoze abasibe ba National Platform okubakaka abawayiriza abalumize President Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert Bobi Wine nga bwali omutemu nga bwali omutujju nga bwali omuyekera nga bwali byonna bye bamutaddeko nga bwalina emmundu nga bwalina bomu byonna bye bamuwayiriza kakati nno gave Canada ebigambo enchonga zikyuseemuko Museveni era kati wali afeekera atuyana bwe zikala asokenoza tufune mawulire gano then tubitambuze veri
abaganda baffe abali mu makomera njagala okubategeeza nti twagala tusonyiwe baganda baffe oba tuleme gitwala nga nsonga nkulu oba tugitwale nga diversion ey'abaganda baffe be bakkirizisizza emisango mu General Court Martial. It's so shameful that the judicial system in Uganda is rotten to that extent. Under the judiciary system, we have the Constitutional Court, we have the Supreme Court, we have the Magistrate Court, we have the Court of Appeal, we have the Commercial Courts, we have the Court Martial. But if the judicial system cannot control all its branches, then that country, Uganda, is in dilemma. It's the pillar called the judiciary is really at stake anytime it's falling. Because if you can have courts which manipulate people, which manipulate the law, and they do according to someone's will, who is called above, then that country ceases to be a lawful country. It becomes a lawless country, where the law is not existing, is not reigning, but someone's orders. And it's very shameful. I think we should alert the entire world that there is no law in Uganda. There are no laws working. Laws may be there, but they are dictated. Someone dictates them from his or her bedroom, and that is General Museveni. They've played a lot of drama on Ugandans. I want to assure to the entire world that I'm one of the victims of the court martial. But this is what exactly happened in 2020 when they were arresting us. We were the first batch to be arrested in Kalangala during the general elections campaigns. And I was the bodyguard by then of His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu aka Bobi Wine. By that time, we managed to traverse the country in various areas, and we confronted we had a crash between security and our team all over the country. We didn't do the campaign successfully as we wanted. We were always antagonized, we were always disturbed, we were always disrupted. Our masses were always dispersed by tear gas, live bullets, killing a few individuals, arresting our comrades and agents. So we went through the campaigns that way. And the climax was arresting Kyagulanyi's entire team at Kalangala. That is in 2020. So I'm giving you the genesis of all what you're seeing today. Some of you may think that it just started today. But this is something that was planned right from when Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu came to the presidential campaigns. So I'm here to assure the entire world that I am the first. I am among the first victims who were arrested at Kalangala Island. That is 2020. The entire team of His Excellency Kyagulanyi Robert, we were around 127 people. We were all surrounded by security forces. They had too much manpower I think they took the entire army at Kalangala, that small island, purposely to arrest us. And you know what? They charged us of 2 charges. After arresting us, after the army arresting us, they took us to Masaka Court, Kalangala Police Station. And from there, we were put on the ship and taken to Masaka Police Station. The next day, we were presented before the Masaka Court. And these were the charges. We were spreading COVID. You remember it was COVID time. We were spreading COVID. And the second charge was we were inciting violence. So it was so funny. We almost, it was like a joke to everyone. We were shocked. Who had COVID among us? And who checked them? Anyway, those were the questions in court. Who checked that among us, one of us might be having COVID? And whom did we infect the COVID? So we knew that these were political games played by General Museveni by then. These were just political games. And we knew it's something going to be simple, easy. They've arrested us. And tomorrow we go back to Kampala and we proceed with our normal presidential campaigns. But guess what? It wasn't the case. These guys seriously arrested us for more than 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Oh my God. And everyone was shocked. We didn't believe it was Museveni doing this. And after charging us in court of spreading COVID and inciting violence, of course the cases were bailable. So my upload goes to Honorable Muhammad Segrinya and the rest. Muhammad Segrinya and the rest spearheaded our release from Masaka court. They got money from you guys in the diaspora, and the money was eaten, chewed by the government, the court. It was almost 29 million. I think so, around 29 million and above. Because we are too many, we are around 127. So they needed a lot of money to bail us out. As they gave in cash money to the court, and after the magistrate, the judge, declaring that we go on court bail, we are free, but on court bail, the army, military police, and other security personnel, not in uniform, rearrested us in the darkness. It was around 9 a.m. coming to 10 p.m. I'm giving you the genesis of what is taking place today with our sister Olivia Rutaya and the rest, the Sanyas. So these games have not started today. These games, that was the genesis. So the military rearrested us after beating everyone who was waiting for us at the court. They really humiliated our people who had come to welcome us from the incarceration. So after beating everyone and all of them dispersing, as we were walking out, the military rearrested us. They put us back on handcuffs and they took us to Masaka police station again. And 11 of us, the first circle of Kyagulanyi. This included Eddie Mutwe, Nubiandi, Chuma Cha Yesu, Chivumbi Achideo, Adamu, Tawa, Danny Magic, and some guys I don't remember. Is it Bobby Young? Yeah, around 11 of us. We were put in that a small patrol. We call it Uliwendi Nkusiba. It's a van used by the police to arrest. It's a prison, a moving prison. So 11 of us were put inside, And we all followed the truck that went to Masaka police station. As they were offloading our brothers who were in these big trucks, they are offloading them as they bet them, kicking, beating, because what they did is to switch off, to switch off all the lights in the whole city. So they did all atrocity on our brothers and sisters. By then, they were whipped, they were kicked. People were crying, Afando Zita, you're killing me. So all of them were put inside Masaka police cells. And we, the 11, in this Kabliwendi in Kusiva, this prison, the police prison patrol car, we were taken to Kasijagirwa and barracks. Little did we know that we are going to be arrested in a different place. All of a sudden, taking us around Masaka and other areas, we ended up into the barracks. Oh my God, it was horrible. We said, oh my God, everyone. We started praying for ourselves. Arresting you in a military barracks in the middle of the night. So we had not eaten since morning. We were all hungry and angry. So the armed officers we found there tried to be friendly to us. Kumbe, they wanted to steal our money. So when we tried to tell them that I found we are hungry, they said, oh, our portion is finished. But you bring money. We bring you something from outside. Indeed, we collected money. Everyone who had money gave in the money. And this money disappeared. So we slept hungry. For sure, that's where the torture began from. Actually, the torture had begun from the island itself. But this was also another torture of its kind. You just imagine we slept hungry on the floor, very cold floor, very cold and dirty. Oh my God. I remember those moments. So the next day, we asked these guys, why are we in the army barracks? Why are we under military detention? And what happened? That's a story for another day. But we were arrested in the army barracks. We were done all sorts of torture until when they took us to military court. That is in Makindi. And in the military court, guess what? The charges changed from inciting violence and spreading COVID now to possession of ammunitions. Possession of 4, and now I'm showing you where our brothers are right now. The charges changed from spreading COVID and inciting violence, now to possession of ammunitions. We had 4 bullets and 2 magazines, the entire 49. By then, we had remained 49. Others were released. So if you go to internet, you will see the 49 prisoners at Kalangala. During our arrest in Masaka, there's a prison where they took us. What is it called? I forget the name. Then they made a roll call. So in the roll call, we remained 49. The rest were released. So we stayed in the prison for, 5 days? Yes, I think around a week plus. And Masaka Court again called us back for a bail. We again still thought that we are still on the same charges. So one of the bus went and one of the bus remained behind. So the first bus went and the guys were released on bail. And now, this last bus, you see, these guys used to come every day to scrutinize, to put us in order. This one belongs to the other group. This one belongs to the other group. To categorize us. So the lost bus of the 49 prisoners, as we are moving out of prison cells, going back to Masaka High Court to be given another bail. Christine Nakanwaji, thanks for joining. Guess what? As the bus set off, and all our minds were telling us we're going to Masaka Magistrates Court to be given bail, like the first bus, it was a different story. The bus never took the route to the Masaka judicial whatever. It never took to the court road. It instead took Kampala road. Then we said, no, we don't know. We don't know what is taking place. Maybe they are going to release us from Kampala. Maybe they've already released us. Guess what? As we are heading from Nyendo, Masaka, in the middle where there are no houses, 2 military vehicles, one in front and one in the back, came from the bush and they ambushed our bus. Then we all paralyzed where we were. Everyone was asking, what's taking place? What's going on? What are we after? What's wrong? Why are we being arrested? The military hijacked the bus of 49 prisoners. And they drove us up to military barracks in Makindye. We had our night there. The next morning, we went up to court martial. Now, the game changed. Now, criminals who were spreading COVID and inciting violence turned to be terrorists. But before we went to court, one of our colleagues, Muhammad Nsobuga, was taken back to Kampala, and as you know, the military and the Museveni's politicians and all his blue-eyed boys, they played tricks there. They put magazines and bullets in the rubbish pit of Muhammad Nsobuga, one of our colleagues, one of our members. So they said, aha, this is the evidence. Because they wanted a case against us before the military court. So as they cooked their stupidity, they cooked the case, they got that one, and they implicated us as terrorists. So in military court martial in Makindye, the game changed. The case changed to terrorists. We became terrorists at that time, who were found with 4 bullets and 2 magazines. Can you imagine 49 people? No wonder Museveni went to the bush, 27 people with how many guns? 5 guns. So these are games, you know. One time Museveni said that I'm ruling this country the Chirebo style. So that was possible. It was not something to exclaim. So they put charges against us as terrorists. There is no lawyer who was accepted that day. As much as we alarmed that, hey, public, follow us. They are taking us to military court. Military whipped everyone who was trying to follow. They whipped them. They bet everyone. So we stood in the court without any legal representation. No one was there as a lawyer. No one was there as any, or not even from our political party. So you uniformly or unanimously, in union or in agreement, we all agreed that no, we should not accept a lawyer from government. A lawyer who has not contacted us to know what crime. We've not talked with any lawyer, but the court martial was forcing a lawyer on us that accept this lawyer as your lawyer, then you're going to get bail. We said no. Moreover, is a military person. What was he going to take? Has he talked to us? No. So how do we just accept someone we don't know? He has not discussed with us. We are seeing him for the first time and in the court. So we unanimously said no. And they charged us. They took us back. I mean, they said, okay, if you refuse this lawyer, then you go back to Kitalia. So they changed the prison. Now from Makindye barracks, they drove us up to Kitalia, where we spent months and months arrested for nothing. And by the time they said we had four bullets and 2 magazines, we were already in the prison. These guys were had already arrested us. That was 4th and 5th. These guys arrested us on, was it 31st? 31st December 2023? 2020. Oh, sorry. They arrested us 31st, 2020. Then, all that time we were in prison. But, as we were in the prison, they again arrested us because of, I mean, they arrested us on the 4th. They claimed that on the 4th and 5th of January 2021, we had guns, we had ammunitions. Oh my God. These guys are not... So we went to carry the story short, we went through all that, and cases started moving. So I'm just showing you that don't judge our brothers and sisters who accepted, who pleaded guilty. Because even some of our colleagues almost pleaded guilty, but we said, no, we're strong. Don't accept. These guys were forcing us in prison. They told us, cooperate with us. You just accept that you guys had these guns. They're going to give you bail. We said, no, if it's to die in the prison, we will not implicate ourselves on that big charge. No. So we refused. So what they've done to the Sanya, the Olivia Rutaya, and the rest is not new. They did it even to us in 2020, in 2021. They put up trumped-up charges against us. And day by day, they used to come to us individually and in groups, convincing us to accept the charges, which we didn't know. It's, you know, the way we are being treated, the torture we are going through. Some of us almost gave up. Should I give in myself and I'm released as these guys are promising? But in the actual sense, they were not promising. I mean, they were promising air. They wanted to justify our arrests. If you don't know, these guys wanted to justify why they arrested us in Kalangala. But with the boldness of Eddie Mutwe, Nubian Lee, and the rest, they said, no, if it's to die, let's die in prison. Let us be the sacrifice of this struggle. But the Almighty God, who is above everything, saved us at the end of the day. And the truth was seen, and the truth was revealed. So as we were receiving our bail from the court martial, you remember I wasn't among the first batch to be given the bail. I wasn't on the list. But because I have medical conditions, the court adjourned and they put my name on the list. So the first batch to be released, we were 12 prisoners, including women, the sick. Yeah. So, but as we were getting instructions after the release, after granting us bail, these were one of the instructions. Never. And these instructions were from court martial as we were signing our papers. I'm telling you what takes place inside there. So if you see these guys changing or acting weirdly or opposite the way we think they should do it, the rubber-dubber style, bear with them. Because we went through this. If you've not gone through this, you cannot understand it. I actually took long to go back to my president's home because of the threats and because of the instructions we are given at the time of granting us bail. As they were giving us bail, as they were granting us bail, this is what these were the instructions. 1, never to appear at Kyagulanyi's home. And these guys were telling us we are the government, we have the power, we have the guns, we have the authority, and these are ourselves. We can rearrest you if you don't follow these instructions. If you break these rules we are giving you today. Never to step at Kyagulanyi's home. That was rule number 1. Number 2, do not speak to any media whatsoever. Not even these lives, what is it? Kalaivu kange kaka, no. Yogera kere wanga, what happened? How did they arrest you? These guys cautioned us not to speak to any media of what happened while in the journey of our arrests. They told us go back home and shut up. Report bi-weekly. Don't talk to any media. If we hear you talking to any media, so those were some of the instructions. Now, to some of us, they took us aside from these other groups and they promised us huge money. I'm telling you this. I'm a victim of that military court. And whoever is still in Uganda cannot say this. Some of us, including me myself, we are promised huge sums of money to go against Bobi Wine. And they are willing to train us how to go against Bobi Wine. Omuzira nnyonyi kibalume Omuganda Aneta Asiimwe Bagia Abdu Mulindwa Paul. Thanks for watching. Munansonyiwa, many people are doing these lives in Uganda and other languages, but these stories I want everyone to understand. Nja kubidda mu Uganda one time. So I personally, I was promised huge money. I will not mention an officer or the officers who approached me to go against Kyagulanyi. They gave me huge money. They promised me a house. Just the way you hear them in the social media, those things are true. They are true, but I don't know whether they, if you accept, they fulfill. So they told me, you have nothing to do at Kyagulanyi, now you've been in prison. Is he the one who has released you? It's with the government. So if we dare see you with CUA people power, we shall rearrest you. We have forgiven you now. You should be reporting bi-weekly. On my release that day, the guys fought with me to rearrest me and take me to bomb barracks for treatment. Had I not had strong people to pull me like a sack, guys fought for me against the military officers. They pulled, and the other ones were also pulling to throw me in their drone. And these ones overpowered the military and threw me into their car, and they drove away. I actually went to my bed where I slept. I didn't even go to home where these people knew, because they wanted me back in prison. They wanted me back under their military detention. And the order was to take me to Bomber Barracks, where Bomber Barracks, I think they have a hospital there, where I get treatment. I went to bed at around 3 a.m. in the night. We were in the vehicle, meandering, cornering, going where, to make sure that these guys are no longer following us. It was terrible. Those were terrible moments. So, at the end of the day, we overcame. I never went back to military to report that court martial, to report the bi-weekly. I used to give my paper to my lawyer because I knew if I go back, I would be rearrested. That was the prior arrangement. That's what they had agreed, that when he comes to report for the first time, rearrest him and take him to bomber barracks if he needs treatment. But this God Almighty gave me wisdom not to go back. Up to now, they had given us restrictions not to cross Wakiso, not to cross Kampala. We should remain within where they can monitor us. Today, I'm in Canada. Come and pick me. Come, pick me. Pick me, pick me. Come and pick me. God paves a way where there's no way. He makes a way in the ocean. And the children of Israel take their way. This was indeed a similar story to the Israelites who crossed the sea, the ocean, from Egypt. I was also crossing the ocean. Today, I'm somewhere. But maybe if I was in Uganda, I would be maybe dead or still in prison. But I thank God. Today I'm in Canada. Tewina kye mungamba. Nabasinza amagezi. Nasinza gavumenti enamba amagezi. I collected your brains as a government, including the military, the judicial, the executive, the legislature. I overpowered you technically, and today I'm in Canada. You can do nothing. You can do nothing. You've tried to repatriate me using your former ambassador of Uganda, Joy Ruth Acheng, to deport me back to Uganda, and you failed. She was instead deported. Benyiza. So, ladies and gentlemen, the whole discussion of today was, if you see our brothers Sanya, Olivia Rutaya, after being released, behaving in a double standard manner, don't overjudge them. You know, when you're you're still under Museveni's territories, they control you on a remote control. They control you using their remote control. Take your country's politics problems back there. This is Canada. Adopt and become a Canadian or exit. Who is this? I don't have your time. Oh my God. Look at some of these people. These are NRM conduits who stole money and came to Canada. Look at his comment. I wonder if someone is here and is still supporting the government in Uganda. What are you doing in Canada? Do you want to live in this coldness? Do you want to live where they don't like you? You don't want to see your people. You don't want to inhale the atmosphere in your country. Did God do a mistake to create you as a Ugandan? Now you look at this. Anaitwa nani huyu? Yayi muhisi. Teka erinnya lyo. Put your name there. But take your country's political problems back there. This is a Canada. Adopt and become a Canadian or exit. So what? I've become your headache, man. But that's my story. And you can do nothing. Put your name there and your phone number. Then you will understand who I am. Put it there if you're a man or a woman. Don't joke. This was life and death. Museveni is busy killing people. And you know, Justin Juko. Oh, my boss. Justin Juko. Ogambo tiamwa. Ochali Las Vegas. Nafeje tuliene Canada. Sawa yo namba sarako. So you guys, the name is there. Read. What's your name? Tell the public, tell the world your name. These are NRM conduits, goons. They are here. Bebagabana sente. There's only one sorrow. Shame on you. Oh my God. Temuja tutisa tisa. And you know what your boss is doing? But my name is NRM Money Bags. Anyway, you know kola. Never kugamba okunaba. Oh no. Yeah, you know kola. I'm going to take out. I told this goon, put your name here on this public domain. Your name and your contact. And he says, my name is NRM Money Bags. Never kugamba okunaba. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep cool. We know what is taking place. They've been accusing Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Bobi Wine of soliciting money, collecting money on behalf of those prisoners. Why don't you release them? Then he failed. Then his business collapsed. He will run wordless. Because after releasing those prisoners, what will he tell us anymore? Kadel Mikin say, there is my name. I'm white and I have been to Uganda. Build you a life here. I don't believe that this is a white man talking this. These are NRM conduits. So guys, we just pray for our brothers and sisters. Let's be empathetic. Bobi Wine has always told these guys, the government, that release them. release every political prisoner, and I will run wordless. I'll have nothing to say. As you claim that I go to abroad in the Western countries talking about political prisoners, then if you want him to fail, release them. Set them free. Why do you still keep them? Why do you still keep them in prison? Let them go. Free them. Free political prisoners. If it was your son, if it was your daughter, for the last 4 years in prison, we are also in prison. We did not, me personally, I'm not talking on behalf of others. Me personally, I did not come to Canada willingly. Yes, Canada might be a good country. It is indeed a good country. And I thank the government of Canada for hosting me and giving me protection, everything. But the truth is, the fact is, I did not come to Canada willingly. I never loved to leave my family back. It's really horrible. It's really terrorizing. It's really torturing. It's really a mess. I don't know how many words to use. To stay away from your family for all these years. I'm a family of my own kind. People who came like me are also prisoners in their own style. Without your family, you're used to someone calling you daddy, 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 this and this. You can no longer see, you can no longer have that touch, physical touch. This Zoom, whatever, Zoom, video call, it's not what we want. I want to stay with my family physically. I want to still enjoy my conjugal rights with my wife. Do you think I ceased giving birth? Maybe we had plans of adding more children. That plans were cut short. That plan was cut short. So as you may think of prisoners behind bars, in torture chambers and military barracks, we are also prisoners of our kind. And that's the reason as to why we come out to speak boldly and act. Lucky you who came willingly, you planned it, but it's unfortunate for he who did not plan for it. We will always curse you, General Museveni, and your family. The 3 years I've been away from my family, you will pay for that. You and your family. I'm talking of General Museveni, you and your family. You will pay for the 3 years I've been away with my family. I'm a prisoner. From behind bars to another prison, where you can no longer see your relatives. My father died in 2022. I didn't have that chance of seeing him there. I mean, having a last eye on him. I didn't hear his last words. It's so painful. And some of you who are urban excited, you think when you come to Canada, USA, UK, oh, you've come to heaven. No, Canada is not heaven. USA is not heaven. UK is not heaven. Netherlands is not heaven. You find challenges and problems, different challenges and problems within these countries. Yes, there are so many good things, but there are also challenges. So you just imagine a family man who is used to be with his family. I had my job. I was enjoying my country, Uganda. Not until Museveni decided to take himself as the god of Uganda, chasing us from our country, trying to kill, to end our lives. It's so unfortunate. Then someone comes here and he jokes. I always curse such people. Human, you're cursed. Whichever name you call yourself, I curse you in Jesus' name. You're cursed. Go and find problems after problems. After realizing, you come back to me and repent. I have your key of success from today. Don't joke with me. You don't know what I went through. You don't know what this conduit, this goon Museveni did to us. Go and see problems after problems, beginning from tomorrow. If we are fighting for our justice, if we are fighting for our brothers to receive, to gain justice, if we are fighting for our country, don't bring in jokes. Some of us are real. We faced it. We tested it. It is still on our heads. It traumatized us. Don't joke with this struggle, my dear. I always tell these NRM guys, I have no problem with you. Me as an individual, as human, I have no problem with any NRM person, as long as you don't open your mouth against our cause. Eat your money, do your garbage, praise your Museveni. From there, eat the taxpayers' money, lie to the Canadian government, whatever you lie to them. But don't dare open your mouth against the struggle. Because it's not you, it's me. If I tell you I feel a headache, then you say, you're lying, there's no headache. You're a fool. If I tell you I have stomachache, I'm dying. Because you find you as you, then you joke, oh my God. Eat your money and keep quiet. This is not your business. Maybe if it was your business, you would join, you would feel empathy. You would feel what I feel. But you're on a different page, you're on a different platform, and I'm on a different platform. So mind your business, period. Me, I have no problem kubana abana bayisamu abakulembeze eggaali. Why? Balina obulumi. They feel the pinch. So, bigambo ndoza bwe bityo bwe mbyogedde njagala okwebaza mwenna. I would like to thank everyone who has been on this live. If you've gotten something, spread it the more. Encourage those who have not yet joined the struggle to come and join the struggle. Let us liberate our country. And then we go back. We who want to go back. Then those who are willing to stay, they stay. It's your right. My dear, no one forces you to go back to Uganda. No one forces you to stay in Canada. It's your right. As long as you're here legally. No one will force you to come back to Uganda. No. It's your right to stay anywhere in this world as long as you're staying there legally. It's my right to fight for my country and go back because I feel comfortable when I'm in Uganda. You see here in Toronto how Palestinians and Assyrians, they demonstrate almost every day because they feel better when they are back in their country, not in Canada. Those with some with urban excitement, when they reach here, barabanga abatuuka wanaona kama dunia yote wameipata kwa mikono yao. They think it's done. This is the end of the world. No way. You can make your country a better country. By the way, we as protected people who come in Canada, the asylum seekers, the immigrants, if you don't know, we are a burden to these countries. These countries have the aborigines, the original people, the true Canadians by blood. So if I become a Canadian by a paper, a passport or what, there's a pure Canadian who sees me as a burden. So why do I live in a country where someone looks at you as a burden? If it wasn't Museveni, the dictator who has been in power for the last 38 years. Ojja n'okusaba abasajja bano emmundu bagende mutuwe emmundu tukuba omusajja aveewo. Mutupangiseyo ka drone kagende kamubande. Ekyo nakyo kiggwe. For God and my country, ayi Mukama Katonda, kuuma Ssaabasajja, ayi Mukama Katonda, kuuma President waffe Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, ne bakulembera nabo NUP, kuuma bakulembeze baffe aba chapter, ayi Mukama Katonda, tugjeeko ekizibu kye bayita Museveni mu Uganda, tugjeeko ekikwa, tugjeeko ekikolimo ekiyitibwa Museveni. Mukama Katonda, Museveni tasobola kubeera mu kifaananyi kyo ng'ate atulugunya abantu abali mu kifaananyi kyo. That's a contradiction. Museveni ali mu kifaananyi kya Setaani. Tugjeeko ekikolimo kya Museveni. Katonda waffe tuyambe. Mpe ebizibu kizibu ku kizibu. Akakona ako kalemaza kalemalire eddala kalemena kuvaayo. Agwe ebigombi n'abiro. Uyini tumanye nti ayiseewo agenze. Tuwone ekizibu. Katonda waffe tuyambe. Tugjeeko ekizibu kya Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. N'abaana be ne famire ye n'obuzzukulu bwe ne banywanyi be bonna twala. Abo bwe Katonda basobola okutta omulembe mulamba ku mulembe gwa Noah. Bonna n'otwala. Ne bano batwale oba tuggyeko. Katonda ffe twazza gwaki? Tuyambe Kitange. Abantu bakaaba baana baabwe babatta babasula mu mpologoma. Tusabira Baganda baffe bonna abali mu kunyigirizibwa yonna gye bali. Katonda waffe obabeere. Baleme okugwamu amaanyi. Babeere n'essuubi teruli balumu ne bafuuka abawanguzi. yongera okukuuma omukulembeze waffe Robert Sentamu Kyagulanyi Bobi Wine omubikke n'omusaayi gwe Yesu. Ebirambi kusabye nga tuyita mu Kristo Yesu. Amen. For God and my country, Ssaabasajja Kabaka wangaala.
Kale byebyo obitegedde bulungi embeera y'ensi yaffe, embeera y'eggwanga yaffe, nakyo tulina okukola nga bannayuganda okulanga tutereeza ensi eno, okulanga tununula eggwanga lyaffe odijja mu buwambe bwe lirimu. So ofuna ensi ennungi, so ofuna ensi eyeegombesa, so okukola ensi abaana baffe n'abazzukulu gye balyeyagaliramu, nga bagamba nti abaaliwo balina kye baakola okulanga ensi eno yatereera. Okusinga ogamba nti abaaliwo baalemererwa okukola kye baali balina okukola, ensi yaffe neyonooneka, kakati ffe tulwana okugitereeza naye ate bizibu. N'olwekyo buvunaanyizibwa bwo nange tubeeko kye tukola. Buli olushya baako ky'olowoozaako, situla eddoboozi bwanga ky'osobola, bwanga olina ky'owulira ekiri munda mu ggwe ekikole ku lwa Uganda yaffe, tusobole okuba nga tujjawo nakyemalira, tusobole okuba nga tuwona obumbula, tusobole okuba nga tuwona ekitulugunya abantu, ekitta abantu, ekibba buli kintu ekiriwo kiggwewo ekikyamu. Sofuna abakulembeze abaagala ensi eno era banaakolerera Uganda, so okuba ensi ey'emirembe. Mbaagala nnyo mwenna, Mukama asaba bankuumire, tujja kuba tuddamu mweraba.